It started with a city above and a city below. One bleached by the sun, weathered and decayed. The other held wonders and artifacts of life before the fractured void. Your adventure is called forward with a simple call for aid. What path you choose will shape how the story is told. Will your path lead you into the mist and forest? Or have you delved into the ruined city of Byway, searching for ancient artifacts and ciphers? Will you grow close to those who live in the city, or strive for power?
Good evening, everybody. Hi, everyone. How are you? We hope you are having a wonderful night wherever you are in the world. If this is your first time on my channel, hi, everybody. I'm Sarah. Welcome to my channel. This is a fun little thing that I like to do with my friends as I raise money for the Trevor Project. I've been raising money for the Trevor Project since mid-2020, both in charity events and via my income on this channel. So thank you, everybody, for being with me on this journey. I have a great time doing it. If you will look in the About Me section on Twitch. If you're watching us on Twitch, you have the opportunity to affect our game with your bits and your subs. All of that info is down below in the About Me section. If, however, you can't afford to affect our game financially, that's fine. We understand. Times are hard for a whole lot of people these days. Just sit back, hang out with us, talk with us in chat, earn those channel points, and you'll be able to affect the game with those channel points as well. With that, I believe... Oh, also, I almost forgot. Y'all, I got a present from Rook and the Raven in the mail. This channel, normally, this is what I hold up when I talk about Rook and the Raven on my channel. They are a wonderful, wonderful friend of the channel. Friend of everything that I do on the internet, and they were kind enough to send me some Pride themed binders and a new DM book with their pretty new rainbow cover on it this week, as well as this fancy leather cover. Yeah, check that out, y'all. How cool is that? It's like a what are the northern lights? It's like that, but rainbow.
Aurora.
Yeah. And then my leather cover has a crazy looking angel on it and a little cyclops friend. How cool is that? But they are a wonderful friend of mine and everything that I do on the internet. If you would like to purchase your own DM planner, these are modular planners with hex grids, regular grids, dot paper, lined paper, special sheets for NPCs. There's even a family tree for tracking factions in here. I didn't know that, and that is so cool. So you know what? I am all set to prepare for my very first campaign as a DM. But they do these books for a whole slew of systems, so definitely go check them out if you're looking to treat yourself this week. And use code HypeGoblin to get yourself 15% off your total order. With that, I'm going to go ahead and hand it on over to Jen. Or no, wait, no, we're doing intros. I'm starting intros. I made this change and I totally remembered that I was going to make it. Hey everybody, I'm Sarah. I use she, her pronouns. I will be playing Clever Jack, who also uses she, her pronouns, and she is the Clever Jack of the group.
Hi everyone, I'm Emma, use she, they pronouns. I'm playing Hyacinth Fabra, uses they, he pronouns, and is increasingly disappointed in certain people they won't name.
greetings, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Velvet. My favorite English. My pronouns are Faye Fair, and I'll be playing Ashlot, who is just tall metal Amazonian and causes no problems.
Exactly. Hey everybody.
Yeah.
I'm also Sarah or Sarah Heckalot on social medias. I will be playing Viridia Croyle, the clever one who entertains and has some concerns about where we are right now. It's a little stressy. We've run into someone, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But taking it back over to Jen.
And welcome. I am Jen. I will be the GM for this particular game called Numenera with my lovely co-hosts all around me. And as we dive into it, remember, we are loved and we're going to have some fun tonight. All right, let's get into that introduction, my friends. The event horizon of here and there divides the choice of advancement and stagnation. Time held in spaces beyond sight and understanding warp and twist itself around progression and experiment. Ages decay and rust into angry red dust. The party sets forward into the E-Rings tunnel, following the map of memories, discovering truths and faults to their map. Illusions and elements of things there but not there play upon the party senses. Exploring into a room, the party is met with a series of challenges, namely doors, that bar their paths. Ashalot, the strong, takes on a few doors, freeing up the pathways for the party. Hyacinth finds riddles to another door, and the mystery starts to unfold as data cubes are discovered. A message rings from the past, only to follow a sorrowful tone. Clever Jack gains a new coat and supports her teammates as she helps provide answers to even more riddles within these halls. Viridia tells of a memory of knitting, of days with the family, of things that will sing songs in her head. Together with their might, knowledge, cleverness, observance, they stand before a gate, and in Viridia's hand, a key. With guidance from ghosts, they discover a star. What it means and where it will lead is unknown. Before they can seek answers, the party is confronted by the feared and respected Head Sister Tamsin, leader of the Sisters of the Watch. How this party will wiggle their way out of this one is yet to be determined. And as you are greeted by the Sister of the Watch, the leader, as they stand before you, they kind of look you over and kind of start heading down a hallway, expecting you to follow them. There is no demand, there just is an expectation from them, as if anything else is absurd, and to be absurd is something strange within the science observatory. And as they kind of round a corner, what are you doing?
We're going, right? Like we're going to the. We should probably just go.
We'll just leave.
I mean, if you want to, then I'm sure I can find something around here to keep myself interested.
Oh, I meant follow her.
Oh yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, no, I know.
Okay, I thought like we were on like different pages. Like y'all meant like leave, and I meant like follow around the corner with the.
No, I'm like, you can follow them. I'll be over here.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
If something tells me we can't really outrun this, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I know we're in their headquarter base thingy. I don't know how to get out of here. Should probably ask where the bathroom is. Jack will
Right, so I
start.
guess.
Go ahead.
No, like I guess we're following.
Yeah, Jack will follow.
Ashlot will bring up the rear.
And as the three of them go, Harton just kind of hangs back, rolls their eyes, and finally kind of trails behind them, but a bit of a distance. Just kind of exuding, I'm not with them.
Fair enough. The head of the watch will lead you into a kind of grandiose kind of office that's sparsely decorated, smells of oak wood and resin. There looks to be a fireplace unused off to the left. Dark woods and what looks to be green paneling kind of decorate the walls, kind of separating itself in half, splitting between the darker element of wood and to the weirdly even darker element of green, kind of spreading up to the wall. And above you is a plastered wall, decorated ceiling with high-end art and things of another age. There are books lining the hall of this room, and as Tamsin sits behind their desk, they offer tea and cake to all of you and gesture to the seats gathered before them. They kind of don't look at you before they write a series of notes into what looks to be a screen pad of sorts, elevated to help the ease of a well-worn wrist, as many artists and many writers can attest to. They look up once before they sit back, expecting you to either oblige or stand. They don't seem fussed about either. They're just waiting. They have a slim build, green and what looks to be pink hair, soft eyes that are quick to observe all of you, and they look like they have a scar along the right side of their cheek, and they don't exude a powerful presence, but one of a calming and understanding presence.
Jack will sit.
Do the chairs
Sure,
look
I'll
like
take a
they'll hold
seat.
Ashlot?
It looks sturdy.
They'll gingerly take a seat. I am clutching my new son close to me so that he does not go off trying to devour everything in the office.
As you sit, Ashlot, it's very cushy, very nice and soft, and after a few adjustments, this is the most comfortable chair you've ever sat in.
And Harrison just kind of walks in a little bit after them, immediately takes a seat, and pours himself some tea.
So, how are things? Very secure and clean. That's good.
Am I correct in assuming that you were all conscripted by a Nathan Barker?
Yes.
I mean, you say conscripted.
Mm-hmm.
I think the word would be paid.
Paid. They adjust something on their notes. And did he explain the nature of what you would be doing?
Looking for lost things. That's about it.
What are these lost things?
We don't know.
Another correction in their letter that they're writing.
The lizards in the tunnels look healthy, though. Just so you're aware.
Lizards in the tunnel. Which tunnel is that?
I'm not sure. I didn't recognize the area we were in. And then we ended up here.
They write something else in their notes. I will see to the infestation, make sure it's cleared.
That sounds like a great plan.
You have your papers,
Which ones?
the ones to enter our city.
No, I have my local library card.
There's a nod and another note goes into their letter.
Jack will pull out a well-worn library card from the below. It's the only identification she keeps on her.
Tamsin leans forward and they kind of quirk an eyebrow. It's expired.
Yeah, I've been meaning to go back in. I was waiting until I finished like the 5 trashy romance novels that I took out. I gotta. That's why we were working, because I have an overdue book fee to pay. So you know how it is. Yeah, I'll take that back now. Thank you.
They slide it over across their desk towards you. Now tell me why you were in the back rooms.
I don't know.
Another note goes into their letter.
Did any of you actually understand what happened? Because I genuinely don't understand what happened.
I think we got awful turned around. We're lost. Yeah, we don't really recognize where we were going. We were just following some vague directions that we were given. We somehow ended up here.
Mm-hmm. There were a lot of disappearing doors.
There were actually walls.
Yeah, the
And then
walls.
some walls were
yeah,
doors.
The walls
Yeah,
were
it
doors.
was awful confusing.
Yeah.
I had to punch one of the door walls with a rock.
Mm-hmm.
Another note goes into their letter.
Is it technically still punching if you do it with a rock?
I mean, I think it just adds a little weight to the punch, but yeah.
Punching with style.
Mm-hmm.
So you went into the underground with vague directions, no map, and ended up in the experimental's back rooms of the science center. Is that what I'm gathering?
Yeah, that sounds about right, actually.
Yeah, we're about as
Mhm.
confused as you are.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Another note goes into their letter. So what is your relationship to Nate Barker?
Contract employee.
You had a contract?
Well, I mean, a handshake is a contract, right? Kind of? Maybe. I
No,
don't
that's
know.
why we have different words for them.
Oh,
I got
If
verbal
handshake was a
contract?
contract, we'd call it a contract.
handshake employee. That's what we are. That doesn't sound right. What? There
Yeah,
has
I'm
to be a
pretty sure
better
that's a
word.
name for something else.
Verbal agreement employees.
There we go.
There's a series of papers being pulled out as they lay them across their desk. So you come into the city without papers. That's a violation of Transportation Guild law.
I mean, we
Go
had
into-
papers, just not the papers you wanted.
Mhm.
Yes. Well, someone
mean-
from the below, you should know better.
I mean, you don't know.
Jack.
You don't know that we came into the city without papers. We just don't have them now. I had papers. Then there was this something of a run-in with this weird fog that felt like it was going to eat us, and wouldn't you know it?
Mm-hmm.
My new son,
Having
my
papers
papers.
out massage.
Yeah, we're not really sure what that eats, but don't put any books near it.
Tamsin looks to the pet you have, Ashalot, quirks their eyebrow and adds a note to their letter.
Real thirst for knowledge, this one.
Ha. The note gets a bit longer. Well, are you going to continue bullshitting me all day, or am I going to keep going round and round in circles until you actually talk to me?
Look,
I mean-
know it sounds like bullshit, but that's basically the story of my life these last 24 hours. So, I don't really know how to explain what I don't understand.
But we were
I'm talking to you on
demonstrably.
bullshit. Carl.
Sorry, go for it.
No, talking to you and bullshitting don't have to be mutually exclusive. I can talk and bullshit all day.
No, there are checks and balances in between the above and below. We know who's coming in and out of the city. And you're not registered. They look to you, Viridia. Apparently, there's a missing poster for you in the above, particularly for about 5 pounds of wool. They hold up a poster with your face and missing wool, missing person.
Yeah, we just we got tied up in all of this lizard business really quickly. Was not expecting to be gone this long. I was planning to head back up as soon as I could, but gotten tied up.
And what is a cybernetic from the Golden March doing in this city?
I was looking for a job. Now I'm just a concerned citizen. You're asking us an awful lot of questions. I'd like to know how come you don't know about the labyrinth of doors that are walls and walls that are doors. You're right on top of it.
What they said.
We don't always understand what goes on back there. Secrets that are revealed to us are only revealed to us when we're ready. Which is why I want to help you understand whatever you were doing. I want to help you discover it further. I am not your enemy in this case.
Right. It's kind of a you had to be there sort of thing, I think. I don't... Look, I really don't have anything else to...
If you discover anything down there,
Yes, that walls are doors and doors are walls, and quite frankly, I might need to seek counseling on that, because that is just messing with my my sense of stability and reality. And I am very uncomfortable going back to my home, which has many walls in it, and now they might all be doors.
I will never trust another aperture again.
Yep.
Or not aperture even.
you are going back to Nate. Please be careful. He's not exactly the most trustworthy of people.
Oh, he's...
He has 3 counts of
Dangerous.
wanted murder against him.
You know, I mean, are those proven?
There building a case.
Well, good luck with that. We have a handshake to report back on as well. Maybe Nate can make more sense of this than you and I can. Do you think Nate knows about the doors that are walls and the walls that are doors?
I hope he doesn't. That seems kind of a glaring omission to not mention.
Yeah. I have a lot of concerns.
I'll escort you there myself. For your safety.
Should we be concerned about our safety in town? Has there been some wild... I don't know. Feral cat outbreak?
I hope not. The cats wouldn't survive down here.
No.
They stand.
All right, well, off we go.
Tamsin pulls on what looks to be a leather coat and buttons it kind of captain style, has those brass buttons down this one side of it. And they kind of open the door and wait for a moment before they kind of process something in their mind, tilting their head a bit as if to listen to something. They look towards all of you. I would be careful. There are other forces here who are curious about your arrival.
Do I know of any other factions in town?
Yeah, roll me a knowledge information check.
Do I have any special abilities that help with this? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I do not. Fantastic. That 15.
15, that's really good. Okay. You would know about the Declicions. They are a kind of mobster type family that kind of control the below. While the Sisters of the Watch and the Declicions don't have an all-out war between the two of them, there's a stalemate of sorts.
I mean, if it's the Declicians you're worrying about, I mean, they haven't done anything recently. It's fine. Honestly, I think they're just all talk.
They're all talk until you walked through one of their labs. You're lucky I found you first.
They have a lab with you?
Tamsin shifts a bit uncomfortably before they grit out, yes.
Why? Aren't you...
Keep the peace.
And so you're giving... Okay, so you're on our asses, but you're giving the Declicians access to your information, your technology. Oh, that is something else. Good to know.
This way. As they kind of step out of the office and head down the hall.
Jack will follow. Further comment will be saved for when the party is no longer in earshot of an NPC.
Ashlot will bring up the rear again.
And Hyacinth's actually keeping up with people because this is interesting now.
As you kind of wander through the halls, various scientists and various people kind of watch you proceed. Tamsin is somebody to take note of, and they have an escort, and that is noteworthy in the eyes of these people. Eventually, they'll lead you outside of the science building. I'll put you on that map so you can see where that is real quick. And as they kind of move out of the building, they pull a scarf around their neck and keep their head low. The science building is in the government houses. It's this area. Okay. And they'll make a notable point to go towards the main market, avoiding the southern end of the city. And they'll make their way towards the branchway tunnel, where Nate's shop is kind of on the edge of. When they get to the gate, they'll stop and look towards all of you and give a quiet nod before turning back to head back to the city center.
What? You don't want to check up on us more? You don't want to talk to Nate? Best buddy in there. Maybe you can give him a lab too.
They pause and turn and look towards you, Jack. Be careful. Before they head away.
Right back at you. Once they're out of earshot. Holy fucking shit, y'all! Do you know anything about the Declisians? What do y'all know about the below?
It's below.
I literally got here like hours ago.
That's fair. Okay, so the Declisians are like this big old like tech obsessed family in town here. They like don't go to the south of the below because like that's their territory and like they are scary, but also the Sisters of the Watch freaking hate them, and it is incredibly interesting that they have one of their labs in the Sisters of the Watch's building, because that is like you know how people like talk about oil and water. Well, this is like a lake if the oil was in the water and on fire. Yeah. Big juicy stuff.
See, now you telling me not to go to the south of the city just really makes me want to do it.
I mean, fuck around and find out, am I right?
How I live my
Maybe
life.
not just yet.
Okay, fine. I thought that's the adventure we were on, but okay.
Say, is there a any type of post office that goes up to the above?
Yeah, there's a... are you talking about the wool? Do you still have that?
Yeah, I should probably also just send a letter. I mean, I wasn't expecting a whole like missing persons thing to be filed or anything. Usually, Taylor's not that concerned, but maybe just disappearing out of nowhere spooked them a little bit. It's not quite like me, but if I just explain to them what's going on, they'll be fine.
You could do that, or we could fake your death.
Maybe not.
I've done it before.
As fun as that is,
It's actually kind of fun.
I'd rather save them the stress.
Oh, do you actually like your family?
Yeah.
Okay, then never mind. Yeah, we'll get you to a post office after this. There should be a mail pickup. What time of day is it? Does anyone know what time it is?
The obscurity of the below, unless you have a watch, you have no sense of time.
Exactly.
I hope it's the same day. Jack's gonna say that as she pushes the door to Nate's shop open.
All right. A little bell rings above as the warm and welcoming smell of Nate's humble shop greets you once more. Ever present is the shopkeeper behind his desk reading a book. He looks up as you all enter and he smiles warmly and stands. Ah, my friends, welcome back.
Sup, Nate?
Well, you've been gone for a whole day, so I assume your travels have been good?
It was the whole day?
Yes, it was.
Oh shit. I should really buy a watch. Did you know that walls are doors and doors are walls?
That's more on the paradoxical theory of space and time, but sure.
Well, that's what we found.
Interesting.
Yeah. We also found a dog, or a lizard.
Looks to Ash a lot.
I don't super think he's a lizard.
Really? He's got scales.
I would say closer to smaller crocodile than big lizard.
That tracks. That track. Crocodog.
There we go. That's the name. That's the name.
It's a crocodog.
This is very good.
Ain't she a beaut?
Question, did we keep those data cubes, like, at all?
I think they were all eaten by the machine.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, none of you tried to pull them back out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there were also a handful of data cubes down there, but most of them just screamed at us when we tried to play them. It was horrible to listen to. Not quite sure what was going on down there, but real weird stuff.
Yeah, it's weird how much screaming they seem to record back in the day. I
Right?
never understand that.
Oh, I also found a jacket.
Looks good.
Jen,
Yes.
whatever happened to the rock after I punched the doorway?
You either dropped it or kept it. The rock stayed in place. I mean, it didn't shatter. You made a punch-sized fist hole in the door, I would say.
Okay, I would have kept the rock, in which case I'll just present it.
Nate kind of takes it from your hand and turns it over. It's granite. Thank you.
If you grasp it firmly in your hand and punch a wall, it becomes a door, and vice versa, I assume. Or rather, you punch the wall door and you can get through.
I'll make notes of the use of granite against a stationary object.
Was that the rock though, or was that just your muscles?
I mean, I think I'd be biased in answering that question.
You all sound like you've had a rather trying day. Please sit and enjoy yourselves. I'm about to have dinner if you wish to have some. I've made a lot. I usually parse it out over the week, but there's plenty to share.
Why are you being so nice to us?
You went on a job for me and you returned, so that warrants some niceness, don't you think?
Right.
I can go back to being rude.
I mean, no, but I was just, I don't know. It's weird. You've never been nice to me
Fine.
before.
But now I'm being nice.
Actually, you know what? Go back to being rude to me. I think I like it more.
It's chicken, olives, and based in a red sauce over pasta, if you want some. If you're allergic to, he thinks for a moment as he kind of rubs his fingers together to think of the word. What are they? Little green things. Anyways, they're from the above. They're delicious. Taste has a nice sharp flavor to it. And I got some cheese from the above. Something Welshy goats. I don't know. It was delicious, so I bought some. Please, sit.
Jack will sit.
Team.
Ditto.
Food is provided to all of you, and it's a very nice, warm, and hearty meal. It has a lot of complex flavors to it. and wine is served with it. And you see the cheese Nate is talking about. It's a very nice, mild white cheese and has a very nice, complex flavor with an almond undertone to it. And as he's sitting there, he has a very kind and welcoming smile to all of you. And he's just listening. He chimes in now and then. He asks questions about your adventures and what you did.
Jack's gonna sit there just listening to the chatter going on and just with a mouthful of chicken. So who'd you kill?
Oh.
Damn it, I was going to ask that.
Beat you to it. Fist bump.
Interesting. Who told you that, little snipe?
Oh, Tamsin. One of the walls that were doors dumped us into the Sister of the Watches building.
Oh,
and
terrifying. Oh. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, they made sure we got back.
Huh. Well, to be honest, I haven't directly killed anybody. They kind of expired on their own expedition. I simply paid their fees.
I mean, most people expire on their own. It's kind of a thing you've got to do for yourself.
Need just drugs. I'm not responsible for any deaths.
Good enough for me. Did the people who die know that the walls are doors and the doors are walls?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think that revelation is purely to your group.
Good to know.
So, what did you discover and bring back as per our agreement?
Brought you the rock.
That is not a cipher.
I thought it was.
It is a rock.
It was singing to us.
He squints. Granite doesn't sing.
Well, it was sparkly and singing when we were in there. And then we also have Crocodog here. So, but Crocodog has been claimed, so I cannot hand over Crocodog, as Crocodog is not my personal property. I do respect boundaries sometimes.
He looks from you, Jack, to you, Viridia. Tell me about the singing rock.
Oh, it was just the wildest thing. I've never really experienced anything like that, but there we were, down in the E-rings, and there was this box. Do we still have the box?
Yeah.
Is that what? Yeah, we're transferring. Yeah, there was this box, and it was locked. But we still heard this singing sound, and I don't know. I just had this shunned back to this memory, right? Of just something in my childhood, something I hadn't thought about in quite a bit. Next thing I know, I have the key to this box in my hand. We open it, and there's this rock. It was sparkling, just like Jack said.
Huh. I had a childhood memory too. Weird.
You experience Charlotte?
Ditto. Had an experience with something from a while ago. Didn't realize that wasn't across the board thing.
Same for you, Hyacinth, I assume?
I mean, it made me think of one thing, but honestly, I think about that a lot. Do you know it's possible to just remember things? I know, crazy, right?
Nate stands up, takes the bit of granite, and sets it in front of all of you. This stone saying, and the one you found in the box is this, as he taps it.
No, that's a rock.
What did you discover?
Walls or doors.
Sits. He chuckles as he sits down.
As Jack says that, she gets a haunted look on her face.
So I've been told. What else? Something as magnificent as a stone or a rock in a box is a discovery worth sharing, don't you think? I won't take it if you wish to keep it. That can be yours. But if any other ciphers, not your dog, as they look over to Ashalot, I'm not very good with pets. But anything else, I can welcome into my fold.
There's a big floating thing the size of a house that's a surprisingly good conversationalist down there.
Yeah.
Would have brought it back, but a bit much to carry.
There was also apparently a wardrobe that looked like a capsule that could just fit a body in it, but it only had this coat.
She finally admits it's a wardrobe.
Allegedly, it's a wardrobe. It could be
We heard you
secure
the first
storage.
time.
Oh, whatever. Oh, I think I still have the bolts from it. Jack will reach into her pocket, pull out the bolts. I didn't put it back
Reaches
together.
over, kind of pokes it. Those are bolts, yes?
Here you go.
No,
Drops them in front of him.
not exactly what I asked for. But your discovery is interesting.
There was also a lady on the data cubes we listened to. I think she's dead. Fairly certain she's dead. Might have gone crazy. Because she didn't sound well at the end. Usually when
I
people...
mean, either she's dead or she's the oldest woman on the planet.
Yeah,
By
yeah, that's true.
some orders of magnitude.
I think she expired down there. But I don't think it was the glowy orb that was the size of the house that did it. But I don't know what did it. I really don't want to go back.
You've not recovered any ciphers to give to me. That was the deal, and I still have your money.
Right, but there is a good conversationalist down there that you could go and chat with. So that information has to be worth something.
Unless there's a cipher in front of me, the deal's no good. I am a
You do still
businessman. I expect to be owed what I've been contracted.
Sarah actually thought the glowy rock, that the sparkly rock was the cipher, so...
Yeah, but I mean, we haven't actually given it to him yet, because there's two different rocks here.
Oh, there's two different rocks?
You have
Yes,
the
there's
granite
one
rock.
rock that is literally just a rock that Ashlot hit a
Yeah.
wall with.
Oh,
And then there is the
And then,
actual
like, the special rock.
starstone in the box.
I thought
I
that-
have the rock that I think is the special rock, but it's not, in fact, the special rock.
I thought it was the special rock too that you had.
Nope, it's a hunk of granite that you use to smash a door open.
Okay, yeah, Jack fully believes that is the special rock.
So does Ashlot, because it made the door go all space timey-wimey, so...
I'm gonna eat him emotional support.
Viridia's got the actual thing at the minute, but
This
Yeah,
is this
for-
party civil war, which is the good rock.
Oh my god.
Viridia has the box and the rock. The rock you used to smash the door was that one, but you also used another rock to smash another door with. So you have two different rocks smashing doors open.
Oh no.
Good thing I keep notes. You want to show me this special rock, or are we just going to talk about the granite that's sturdying up my table?
Wait, there's a second rock?
yes, there's a second rock. That's just a rock.
Oh, I thought.
Did you think that
I thought Ashlot had the singing rock that... Why would you let me say that that's the singing rock if that's not the singing rock?
I mean, I know
Okay,
it's not
so
the
in
singing
my
rock,
defense,
but I
it was
figured it
very
was so
funny.
cool.
I mean, it is a cool rock.
So, remedial concept here. There's more than one rock in the world.
Yes.
I would
That
hope
one?
so.
Just a rock. The other one, and they just kind of look over at Viridia. More interesting rock.
Yeah, Verdi kind of like looks to the rest of the group, just kind of exchanging glances, like trying to get a vibe on like, do we show this rock to Nate?
Yes.
Acid just shrugs.
Jack wants money.
Also, I feel like he's going to be the best way to get information on what this might be, because right now we are on square one and don't really know. So yeah, Brady will take out the box and just kind of open it on the table.
Nate leans forward and tilts his head at the stone. Ah. I have no idea what this is. Delightful.
You don't know either. Oh, see? Well,
Well, mystery rock it is.
There are some places that will know better than I. I'll pay you extra for that research. Right now, I will total this discovery as I don't know what it is. I'll give you 300 shins, plus another 50 for the research.
oh, where are we supposed to get this research from?
You're the discovery team, you tell me.
Well, I mean, didn't you just say that there are others that would know better? Has to be at least one or two that come off the top of your head, right?
He thinks for a moment. Probably the library. The science center, but you've seen them made a few friends there. Let's see. The archives might be good. She Who Speaks might know more. But do you really want to tangle with that?
Who is She Who Speaks?
You know them, Jack. She Who Speaks is kind of an overseer of the city. They are everything and beyond.
I mean, we could start with the library, I guess.
And hey, while we're on the subject of paying for research, want to know something fun we found out in the science center?
By all means.
I mean, are we talking a bonus here?
Depends on the information.
Let's just say the sisters and have a lab in there that they're running with the Declesians, which seems interesting.
No, that old family. He digs around in his pocket and pushes forward a pouch of the books.
I wasn't aware we were on them in the first place. Takes a pouch.
I am a businessman and I keep very good records. You get an additional 20 shins on top of that.
Okay, what's the total that we're up to now?
You are up to 370. Technically.
Damn.
Right. All right. So cool. Sounds good. Does he seem to be like cool with the idea that the Declesians and the Sisters of the Watch have a research facility in the same building?
You make an intelligence or insight or perception check, whatever you think would be applicable under the intelligence role.
I only have straight intelligence. That's a 2. so
It's hard to tell. Nate is hard to read in the sense you've given him a lot of information, but he's not given you a lot of information. He's friendly, but it could also be you're doing things for him friendly.
mm-hmm.
And I'd like to make a roll on just kind of, is he telling the truth in that he doesn't know anything more about it?
Mm-hmm.
And that is an 11 with a step down in difficulty. So basically a 14.
Uh-huh. He doesn't seem overly surprised. From between Tamsin and what they told you, and then nature of Nate that you've observed, Nate seems to know more and understand more than he lets on.
Yeah.
Right. Well, thanks for dinner. That was
My
great.
pleasure.
Yeah, I guess we should get to work. We should.
Rest for the night. I mean, you've been out all day.
Can I use your washroom before I go?
Sorry, buying customers only.
I'm your employee. Isn't that an OSHA violation?
You don't work here.
See, I told you that wasn't a contract.
Whatever. Let's go.
Nate stands and leads you to the door. Polite manners, and he holds the door open for all of you. You be safe. See you tomorrow if you want to come by. I'll have lunch prepared if you want something to eat.
As we're walking, Jack's just gonna, under her breath for the rest of the party, I can't tell if he actually likes us and wants us to come back for lunch, or if that's just his way of checking up on us.
I think it's the second one.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still gonna come by for lunch. It's free food.
Hard to turn
It
down.
was good.
Yeah, that was some good chicken. I didn't know Nate could cook.
So, real quick, Brady's gonna try to head over to the post office.
Yeah, you can find one easily. It's marked with the blue sign that says post office. It's easy to identify. And you see what looks to be a squat man kind of sorting out mail, and they look up at you and they say, "All right."
All right, and hey there. I was hoping to get something sent to the above. I heard this was the place to be.
Okay, the surcharge fee to go through the Transportation Guild is 10 shins for transportation. Depending on the load and how much you're carrying is an additional 5.
How much would 5 pounds of wool be?
About 25 altogether.
Right, we haven't been paid yet, right? Like it wasn't like an upfront.
Yeah, Nate
Great.
can pay you.
Cool.
Sorry, I got paid.
All right. Well, just a letter is fine then. Michelle's is kind of like detail in this letter that she's fine. Is going to explain the fee to send the wool over was too high. Couldn't send that.
Jack'll
sorry.
spot you the 25.
Well, thank you, Jack. Appreciate that.
Don't worry, you're gonna pay me back with interest.
Figures. Okay, so we'll send the wall and say that she's safe. No need to worry. She has met some friends that need her, and she'll hopefully be back soon. That's about it.
All right. The courier will take your stuff up in the morning, and they give you a receipt more or less detailing what they'll do and how it'll be carried out. And everything kind of disappears in the back, and the man goes back to sorting his letters, and he looks up at you. All right.
All right.
All right. And looks back down at his paper.
All right, so back to my place.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, Jack will lead everybody back to her little apartment.
You go back, warm and welcoming as ever. The bioluminescent mushrooms fill your view as you step into the outskirts of the city. Occasionally, you see some children running about, playing and chasing what looks to be a rat or a mouse. It's hard to tell in the darkness, but as long as they don't get bit, they're fine.
So, library first tomorrow? Or do we want to go to the
sounds-
archives?
You know, either sound like a start. I don't know which one might be better than the other.
Maybe the archives, because I don't owe them a late book fee.
Fair.
Unless one of y'all want to open a library card down here.
If I wanted to go look through archives, I would have just stayed at home. I'll check out the library.
Alrighty. Sounds like we're gonna divide and conquer in the morning. I like it. That can't lead to anything bad.
Yeah, when has that ever gone wrong? We'll be
Never.
fine. We'll be fine.
Splitting the party, it's a totally normal thing to do.
Well, something that y'all mentioned that I didn't really think about until we were all talking at dinner is apparently that rock gave all of us a memory. I mean, I'm perfectly willing to share more of mine. I just didn't want to take up the table with a long story or anything. I was just curious, what were everyone else's memories?
Jack's gonna plop down onto the sofa. Well, nothing too exciting. It was just my brother yelling at me. But I mean, that's nothing new, so he yelled a lot.
Did you yell back?
No, I was on the opposite side of a cornfield from him. I can't remember if I yelled at him later in the night, though. I might have.
Does Ferdia know that there aren't cornfields down here?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to grow food in a cave unless it's mushrooms and moss and lichen, but grains don't do well in dark situations.
I guess if you're in a cave, you better liken some shrooms.
At least be a fun guy about it.
Now you're getting a death's head ahead of yourself.
Come for the science fiction, stay for the mushroom puns.
Exactly. Well, I mean, the memory I had, I haven't thought about in quite a while, but it was just me learning how to use the loom with my mother as a kid.
Was
Made
everyone's
me,
Go ahead.
it made me think about how I got these, and they just kind of tap the lines next to their eyes. They just glow a little bit in response. But then, think about that a lot. It was kind of a thing.
Is it a childhood memory?
I mean, I was like 17.
Oh, okay.
Does that count?
Maybe.
Doesn't have to be. I remember being flesh and bone. That was a while ago.
Wait, you were flesh and bone? What?
Yeah.
That's so cool. Okay, so were you like always like a fighty soldier punchy person, or did you do
You
it
always
before?
that tall.
Yeah, were
Sorry,
you
what
always
did I
that
say?
tall?
And no, yeah, you kind of bulk up when you're made of metal.
Huh. Jack is just
And to
staring
answer
at
the other
you.
question, yeah, you don't last long if the Golden Armada if you're not a good fighting.
Storyteller, what do I know about the Golden Armada?
What did she know about the Golden Armada, Ashla?
I think there's a lot of. It's more rumors than actual fact. It's almost it's kind of a traveling band of warriors. Very much like a wild hunt type of deal.
What's the Golden Armada really like?
And don't say gold.
Yeah.
No, more like iron. It's relentless, driven, very orderly.
How come you're not still there? Isn't that like a for life gig?
It is. Don't really know how to get back to them. During one of the campaigns, I ended up finding this obelisk. When I touched it, it just popped me out somewhere else, made of metal.
There's an obelisk that was the door.
Well, I can't have statues being doors now.
What if everything's just a door?
I mean, I think functionally everything is a door if you're determined enough.
Probably.
Then I guess everything's a wall if you're undetermined enough.
That's what I found.
Exactly.
Yeah. That tracks.
Someone write that down. There's no apertures, just moxie.
So we all saw something from our past, not necessarily when we were kids, and not necessarily a good thing.
No, I mean, I think you just described what a memory is.
Well, yeah, but why those specific ones?
Why did the rock bring us to that with the voice? Because at least for me, I didn't think about that until it started singing.
I've repressed like everything, like from before I was 20, so I definitely have not thought of that. Huh. I wonder if my brothers are still alive.
Anyway,
You
wait,
got
did you
any
say
names?
cornfield? I thought you came from down here.
Huh? Oh, no. Farming family. Up top.
Am I familiar with that name at all?
It's not a name. She's just saying that she's from a farming family.
Oh.
The farmers are an insurance family, actually.
Exactly.
We are farmers. Yeah, my family owns a rather large farm up top. Didn't want to stay. They wanted me to stay. It's been nearly a decade since I've seen any of them.
I can relate to that.
What about you all? Viridia is good terms with her family. You know that. What about you two?
Never met mine.
Really?
The Armada conscripts them young as they pass.
Huh. Have you ever looked for him?
No. I just always knew the Armada. No reason to look elsewhere.
And I mean, let's just say there's a reason only one of us has a missing person poster going up for them. I mean, my parents are still around. I just didn't want to follow them into any of their jobs. So this was more interesting. Just do my own thing instead.
I wonder if my family ever put up a poster for me. No one
Wonder
said
if your
anything.
family know any of mine. Wait,
Your-
one of my dads owns a farm.
Last name Doyle ring any bells?
No, but to be fair, I never paid that much attention.
Also, if any of you ever tell anyone what my last name is down here, I will be very cross.
I mean, until you said that, I didn't want to.
Will you be cross or will you still be Doyle?
I like your sense of humor most of the time, but right now, I'm trying to be serious. Making me laugh is not fair. Ugh, no, just... Okay, so if you haven't caught on already, I don't always get up to the most legitimate of business down here, okay? And I don't like my family, but I don't want that tracking back up there. Because one, some of the people I deal with are scary. And two, I just don't want my family to know where I am. So there's that.
That's totally fine. Safe with me, at least.
Thanks.
I make no
Another feeling?
promises. It might be funny. Just full disclosure, right off the bat.
I always knew you had a punchable face, but now it's confirmed.
Yeah, I've been told that.
Well, I've got some beers in the fridge. Anyone want one?
Sure.
You're not.
Jack will go get beers and just engage in the chatter.
Have an evening to yourself. Oh, thanks for the redeem for. We got a cipher or a artifact drop, which was to Viridia. What do you get, Viridia? Before I continue into my lore.
Let me go ahead and read that. So, chat, I got an electric sword, and it's very cool. I'll roll the level in a second. It's level 1d6 plus 1. It is a sword with or sword hilt with controls. So it produces a sword-shaped electric discharge, which can be used as a medium sword that ignores armor. Also inflicts 2 additional points of damage to automatons and powered objects. Sword lasts for 1 minute or until deactivated. And I just rolled 63 charges on that. So pretty cool.
Nice.
Very nice. Numenera has a lot of fun little items and artifacts littered throughout its purpose, and I always enjoy seeing them. It's fun to read into what they have. But for the lore, the Crow Dog has redeemed. You are going to learn about the Black Sun. It's a mechanical being that takes the form of a black glowing orb. It bends fragments of metal into wisps and smoke-like forms. Considered harmless, the Black Sun can be found anywhere in the world. It emits a sound similar to a song of sorrow, giving lore to that it is searching for something. What it is, no one really knows. Attempts have been made to study it, however, it never stays in a singular place for long to be studied. I'll put that into the chat for you so you can read it further. There we go. That is the lore we have discovered today. But the night is yours. If you have any wounds you need to recover or any health you need to recover, that is yours. Make sure you mark that off to the 8 hours, or the 10 hours, excuse me, for your rest. And the day will come at your leisure. But as the morning kind of breaks into this new day, we'll go to a quick break and come back after that.
Awesome. All right, we are going to go refresh our drinks, stretch our legs, maybe get some more emotional support Oreos, and we'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go nowhere unless to also grab a drink, grab a friend, or go to TheHypeGoblin.com and pick yourself up some show merch. See you in a bit, everybody. Bye-bye! Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with us through the break. Thank you for all of the wonderful redemptions earlier for artifacts and for lore drops. That is stuff that y'all only get during the live stream. That does not make it into our podcast content. So thanks y'all for being here. You get a special little treat just for showing up to these lives. If you are joining us for the first time, or you joined us in the first half after our initial intros, just so you are aware, this is a charity channel and this is a viewer affected game. You can use things like bits, subs, and channel points to affect our gameplay and give us things like artifacts and lore drops. That is all in the About Me section down below on Twitch. And unfortunately, if you're watching us on YouTube, I'm not monetized there, so I don't have any way for viewer interaction to happen over there. But come on over to Twitch, earn some channel points. We'll get YouTube there eventually. I hope, maybe, I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and hand it on over to Jen. Jen, drop us back in this world.
All right, so you wake up in the morning. The dampness of the cave permeates this wooden structure of a home. Make sure you mark off any rests that you take. And as the morning greets you, there is a gentle knock at the door.
What? Who's... Oh, that's right, you all slipped over. Okay. I'm just going to make my way through the room, wherever we all ended up sleeping. I feel like Jack slept on the floor after one too many beers last night. And go open the door.
There is a younger male-presenting person in front of you, and they're holding what looks to be a very clean and crisp white envelope with what looks to be a velvet blue kind of seal on it, and they present it to you.
Laramie thinks I know what this might be. Does Jack know what this might be? And who
You
it might
have
be
an
from?
inkling.
What do they want?
The boy kind of quirks an eyebrow, then holds out a hand.
Snatches the letter, closes the door.
You hear a huff on the other side.
Get used to it, kid. I'm gonna open the letter.
It says, "You are cordially invited to Dr. DeClission's lab at behest of your earliest convenience. Breakfast will be provided."
Where do I know Dr. DeClission's lab to be?
In her home.
Okay. Have I ever gotten the summons to her lab before?
No. Nobody really receives an invitation from any DeClission.
I go around, start waking everybody up. Come on, y'all. Up. Come on. Up and at 'em. We got a problem.
All right, what problem?
Letter. So remember that family that I told you about? That's them.
Yep. All right, and I guess
Wait,
they've.
which family you told us about? Because there's the crime ones and there's your family. You've told us about a few families.
The crime one.
The
Definitely
DeClissions, and
the
Bree will
Clissians,
pass on the letter at this point to go down the line. Well, looks like they've made their presence known. They know we're here, at least.
Yeah, I've never heard of anyone getting an invite to her lab, so I wanna go. I look too good to die. Like, I am in the best shape of my life right now. I finally have my hair with this eclectic style that I totally love.
It looks great.
Thank you. Special conditioner. I'll get you the recipe. But also, just like all that aside, I would just like to not die.
I mean, what are the consequences? Like, what are the odds? If we don't show up, you think it'll be worse if we do show up?
I think it'll be worse if we don't show up.
Okay.
Because then I think she'll send someone after us, and it won't be with a letter and a
I mean,
12-year-old.
both will get worse, but at least if it gets worse as a result of us being there, we'll see it coming.
True.
Yeah, and even if we don't go, even if it doesn't like actually get worse, it'll feel worse because you'll always wonder. Or is that just me?
Right. Gosh, was this how you were feeling earlier when you were agreeing with me? I
Yeah.
don't like it.
Nah.
The good news is that if we get trapped in there, I still have my explosives. So I'll get us out.
The talk we had about setting off explosives in a cave, more so if we are locked in a room, I feel like the explosives would be even worse then.
Not if it's a tiny explosion.
I feel like to get to an explosion that tiny, it would then not actually be any use as an explosion.
Oh no!
You could get to an explosion that tiny and it would be technically like a sneeze.
I mean, you just need a small explosion to blow a door off its hinges. Technically two, depending on, well, if there's two hinges, you need two. If there's only one hinge, then you really only need one. But
Out of curiosity, how many explosions have you just set off in general?
intentional or not, because the number's different.
Yes.
15.
Good to know. Good to know.
Expected more.
Oh, that was just the intentional ones.
Oh.
37 is the other number.
I don't know
Last
how
month.
to feel about the fact that you kept count.
What? Well, I mean, you gotta know when and where you did it, because, you know, some of them weren't on the up and up for what they were used for, but, you know, it's fine.
Well, let's keep blowing us all up at, like, plan G.
I mean, it
And
could,
see what happens above that.
I think it should be plan E for explosives, but, you know, to each their own. All right, fine. I won't blow us up unless everyone agrees that I can.
Usually it's best if self-immolation is unanimous.
All
Agree.
right. So are we going to this breakfast? Or are we avoiding it like the plague?
I mean, free food hasn't turned us or led us astray yet.
You're not wrong. Okay, I got a bad feeling about this, but yeah, let's do it.
Of course you've got a bad feeling about it. That's just... That's reasonable and probably correct, but we should do it anyway.
Bad feelings are just apprehension leaving the body. Eventually you'll run out.
I don't know how it works for you, but I don't think that's how it works for me. Do you have an apprehension meter?
No, I think there's just something about being a tank that puts the self-preservation thing a little lower on the list.
You know, that's fair. Yeah. I'm a little squishier.
I think we're all a little squishy.
How do I get to become a tank? Do you remember where that obelisk was?
No idea.
Jack will get reasonably presentable.
All right. Reasonably presentable and ready and rearing to go. Are you heading to Dr. Declesion's lab?
Yep.
Mhm.
I will preface, we did have a weird thunderstrike and there was a sudden drop in the barometric pressure, so if I vanish, it's because of that.
Oh.
But I'm here now. So,
If you vanish, God has willed an end to this game.
it's fine. I would enjoy it. God and I can fight on the mountain. So, as you're traveling through the below, towards the labs of the Clisson family, you are presented with a rather opulent building. It stands about 3 stories tall and is about what looks to be a wide mansion, more or less. But as you look around, you realize that it's part of a larger structure and serves probably just the purposes for a lab, more or less. But as you approach, there's a foot person there waiting for you, and they hold out their hand towards you.
I give them a high five or a low five, depending on which way their hand is.
They kind of narrow their eyes and they clear their throat. Your invitation, please.
Oh, right. Who had it?
Pretty sure we gave it back to you.
Did you? She checks her pocket and pulls out a crumpled invitation.
The foot person raises an eyebrow and takes it, and you hear almost a disgusted sound in the back of their throat as they turn around on their heel and head towards the door and open it up. This way.
That tracks.
Heading in, you are greeted with a wide hall, beautifully decorated with flowers that only belong to the above. Orchids, soft pinks and blues kind of decorate these long wooden tables. You see paintings kind of lining the wall, archways kind of neatly decorated by what you think are vines and living plants. In various points you hear echoings of footsteps and doors neatly closing and the hydraulic hiss of a lab door sealing shut. A moment passes before the footman closes the door behind you and says, "Wait here," in a very bored tone, and disappears down the hall, leaving you to your devices. Is there anything you'd like to do?
I'd like to look around for cameras.
Sure. Perception intelligence check would be this roll.
17.
Ooh.
Note quite a few in this hallway. It could be because lab safety protocol demands it, or security demands it, or simply just to unnerve you. You're not entirely sure which. All of them could be true at once, but that's up to you to determine what you would think is the best plausible outcome.
Jack is gonna just rub her nose, and as she does, with her hand covering her mouth, say, "We're being watched, probably. 2 cameras in front of us, 2 behind, and I believe at least 1 overhead in the light fixture."
Yeah, Hyacinth's just talking back to her, not even trying to be subtle, just, of course we're being watched. Did you expect anything else?
No, No, I was just saying it so don't take anything. It's a thing that people do sometimes. Into a house.
Or if you do take anything, just make sure you're good at it.
Yeah, that too.
When footsteps walk back, and you see the footman kind of approach you, and a tall, elegant-looking woman with blonde hair, soft skin, and bright blue eyes kind of approach you, and she gives a warm smile, and she says, "Ah, well, welcome all of you. I am Dr. Jean Declicion. I'm so excited for all of you to be here. There seems to have been some interest in the labs. You came through one of our back doors, particularly the ones I'm studying. Please, let's have breakfast." As she turns on her heel, leading the way.
Well, so much for the Sisters of the Watch keeping that under wraps. Jackal follow.
Again, did you expect anything different?
As usual, bringing up the rear.
As you kind of walk, Dr. Declicion kind of motions to various portraits. I hope you understand that this is a very interesting discovery, and I'm very excited to hear about your results. Anything new or interesting, I would want to hear it from you. Tamsin, they don't really want to speak to me about it. That's all right. They don't need to. I want to hear your account. This is, from what I understand, a scientific discovery. No one's come through that door in ages. As she steps into a dining hall, and you see a very large, splendored place breakfast before you, and a long table. And she kind of pulls out a chair for each of you and sits down in the middle, so you are either forced to sit next to her or across from her.
I will sit down across.
I'll sit next to her. Just so you say you want to know what's new and interesting. I mean, how would we know what was new and interesting? Don't know what was meant to be there. What would be normal?
That's a very astute observation, and I'm hoping
Thank you.
you
I've
tell
got more.
me. Oh, please. Anything new or old is of interest to the Declicions and the Science Observatory, as it propels our discoveries and interests in the science forward, helping the city at large.
Well, the
Ashla
wall.
will sit across from her. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was saying Ashla will sit across, and I assume Crocodog is with us because
Yeah.
can't really be left unattended.
Well, the wall turned out to be a door, and the doors turned out to be walls, and that's as much as I understand. So,
Fascinating.
also, I got a coat.
It looks lovely.
Insight check.
Like, so much charisma. Oh.
Is that an intellect check?
Yes.
Okay. Nine.
Lovely.
Also, there's a lizard problem in the tunnels, so don't go out unattended.
Oh, I assume the lacks are a nuisance to everybody. They have been a hindrance for many explorers. I'm glad you survived.
That's as much as I understood. Did anyone else understand what was happening?
I was pretty lost until we got to, opening some wall doors.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the place itself, too, is in quite a bit of disrepair. I mean, doors were rusted shut. A lot of the machinery was either not functional or hardly functional. That's the state of it.
That's been terrifying traveling through such paths. I commend you for your bravery. It's remarkable you've returned to us in one piece.
I mean, aside from the lizards, it was pretty okay. Just a lot of broken stuff, and then walls that are doors and doors that are walls.
So you've said.
Yeah. How does that gate actually, like, open and close? I still don't get it.
A gate?
Yeah, you said the gate.
I didn't mention a gate.
Oh, I thought she said that she was studying the gate that we came through.
He was studying the back rooms.
The what?
That's what she's been calling them.
Oh, okay. Sorry, that was player me. I misunderstood.
Sorry, was that the back roads or rooms?
Rooms.
Okay.
So you just study the room that we popped into?
Well, we study a room. Where you came out through is hard to trace. We can't find it again. Our data doesn't connect back to the point you came through, which is interesting in itself and delightful. I'm hoping you would tell me more, as it's hard to decrypt what we can't find.
Right. Jack is just staring off into, like, the middle distance as she tries to comprehend that there's no way to track where they were.
There is a way. You have a map. You just haven't updated it yet.
How do you know about our map?
That was the DM
Oh.
pushing that little thread forward.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that.
Sure.
Right, well, sorry I can't be more descriptive, I guess. I remember anything else I can draw a doodle for you? Maybe a finger painting? I don't know, I'm not really artistically inclined.
I can pay you 600 shins for your information if it's accurate.
How accurate is the walls were doors?
Not very.
Right, so. Yeah. Well? Yeah, that's as much as I understand. I'm not really known for the big thought thinking, you know. That's this one over here. And she'll just point to Hyacinth.
Yeah, but I mean, we keep her around to navigate us down here, and she doesn't even know where we're going, honestly.
No, but I make sure that it's always fun.
That's certainly one way of describing it.
Well, it's a shame you don't have more for me. A fruitful partnership can bloom into so many opportunities.
I mean, what kind of thing would you have been interested if we had run into it?
I was hoping you would tell me a story. What was down there? What did you encounter? Things that Nate and Tamsin are not telling me. I don't like being in the dark, and I'm hoping to resolve this peacefully.
That
Right.
does sound better than the other option.
Of course. The below is a dangerous and dark place.
Yep, that it is. And as much as I enjoy lots of money and vague threats, I don't know what else to tell you except that we found walls that are doors and doors that are walls.
Disappointing.
Yeah, it really was. We didn't get paid because of it, so, you know. Them's the breaks.
He smiles and stands. Enjoy your breakfast. I unfortunately have a lot of work to do. And please reach out to me if you need anything. The Christians are a good family to have in your back pocket. We always protect our own. Good day. She kind of glides out of the room with ease, and the door shuts with a snap.
Well, anyone want to finish eating?
Nah.
I mean, I think I've had my fill.
Cool. Jack's gonna take like an orange and a piece of toast off the table and head for the door.
Nice.
I will just let Crocodile finish whatever's on the table and then follow out.
It's weird when Crocodile kind of eats. It doesn't vanish like it should. It turns into dust, amalgamates into a ball, and then disappears. Kind of like a tiny black hole.
Ooh. Metal.
Right, so you can take the toast, you can leave. Nobody will stop you or hinder you. If you do try to go into other parts of the house or labs, you will be stopped by a footman. And you are led back outside into the below.
Yeah, Jack just wants to get the heck out of there.
Hyacinth's very much picking up on the same vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Where you want to go next? You have a couple of options. You can go back to the Gloaming Eyes to update your map. You can go to the archives. You can go to the library. You can seek other sorts of information. Nate is still about if you need him for anything. You have a couple contacts with the sisters. Up to you.
Do we still want to split up and try to research?
Sure.
Yeah, I had an idea when she was talking to us, saying how there's no way to know where we came from. I mean, we've got this map that seems like it runs off what people have seen.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I can make it trace us back. Or maybe not. I literally have seen this for like a day.
All right. I mean, we could go and we could update it. I don't know if we have to give up our memories of what we did, because that's what it seems to run on. But you know, we could do that.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine we'd have to talk to the one we got it from.
Mm-hmm. Maybe another day.
Alright.
All right, I can hit the archives. See what's there.
Yeah, I think I'll join you on that. The idea of going to the library, I'm not huge on books a lot of the time. I feel like I'll lose my focus a little bit, so.
What do you think they keep in archives? Hate to break it to you.
Don't tell
More
me.
case files, more record types of things. I mean, library is pretty strictly book.
You're gonna be so disappointed. Come on, let's go.
I guess I'll join you.
I'm
in the
between a
library,
rock and a
Tyson.
hard place.
As an archivist, that hurt my soul a little.
Don't you mean between a wall and the door?
Yeah, exactly. I'm between a wall and a door.
Players stabbing me in the soul. It's fine. It's fine. I love them. But you're splitting to go to the library and the archives, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. Hyzen and Ashalot, you're going to the library?
Well,
Yes.
that's what we said. I think as soon as Jack and Viridia have gone, I'm still kind of set on that idea of checking the map. Do you want to just? They don't have to be. They don't have to be bothered with it. I think it'd free them out a bit in there, and I don't know. She likes you.
Sure. Library's not
Yeah.
going anywhere.
I'd hope. I don't know how they work down here, but where I'm from, libraries tend to stay in one place. So yeah, we're gonna head back to the Glowing Eyes.
All right. You enter into the echoes and see the hanging tapestries strung up by nothingness and something. And they part with almost a giddy glee as you see the disformed and discontorted form of the Glowing Eyes kind of peer down at you and spider-like climb into your space, a bit closer comfort, but they seem to lack any understanding of social cues. But as you approach, the automaton you had given them earlier approaches, covered in a full tapestry weave now, wearing what looks to be a veil over their face made of fine spider silk. And you see the ever-present wide smile of the Glowing Eyes as they approach you. I've done some things with your gift. As they kind of roll their fingers over the automaton, pulling the veil up, and you see what looks to be tapestry woven into the metal of this being. I've been busy.
And Hudson just smiles almost as wide back, just, it's a good look.
Why have you come to me? More gifts? Offerings? Prizes? Yes?
The map you gave us before, am I right in thinking it runs off the memories of people who've traveled using it?
Clever, yes.
Thank you, I've been told that. How would I update it to see what I've seen?
For the very reason you discovered how it works. Memories. Nothing harmful. It's just a simple exchange of data points as they kind of hold their fingers out, and you see strands of weave kind of tucked between their fingers before they curl them. I can exchange it. Nothing will be lost. Nothing permanent. Memories always return once the map has them. I promise you will be safe.
And I'm gonna roll for detecting falsehoods on that, just to see, if I actually will be safe. And that is a natural 1, so
Yeah.
I shouldn't be allowed dice.
I'll give you an oddity for that, and you can take an XP for that too. I'll give you a weird. We haven't done weird today. Let's do a weird. There you go. Have fun. As far as you know, the Gloaming Eyes is honest. Ever onward.
I just kind of stop and think for a moment. And then they just hold out the map, do it.
Alright. This won't hurt, I promise. As they place a elongated hand onto the map and reach up towards your face, may I touch you?
Do what you need to.
They place a hand on your temple and then kind of slide it to the back of your head, almost caressing it gently, and you see strings form in a tension-tight moment. And this almost glittering field of dust between you and the map form, and a gentle stream downwards before the Gloaming Eyes pulls back and holds up the map ever so gently, and you see the updated form of your map. There you go. As they hand it back gently. Nothing bad comes of a gentle exchange of data.
I just kind of hesitantly take it back. And DM, do I still remember? Is there anything I suddenly don't remember?
You remember everything. Nothing was lost. Nothing permanent.
Wow. It's been an experience dealing with you once again.
Of course. All friends are welcomed here. Do come back if you need that map updated again. As they swivel and look to Ashlot, please do come back.
I think while they're there, Ashlot will kind of just hold out Crocodile and just be like, "Do you know what he is?"
Gloaming Eyes kind of shifts unnaturally and gets close and holds their hands above this strange creature. It is a cipher, from what I understand. It consumes matter in small amounts and reproduces a small black hole into which nothingness falls. A good way to destroy evidence.
Good to know.
As we do that, Ashla, you get an artifact.
An artifact?
Artifact. Neon artifact. You, Ashla. And we got a lore drop. Let me dive into that before I switch over to the other group. We are learning about the Ringed Tyrant. A fold gate that becomes twisted by a corrupted concept. It pulses with gold light twisted in black metal thorns. The gate opens randomly every 10 years, allowing a tyrant to step through. It usually takes the form of a storm that devastates a 20-mile radius. Any attempts to cure this gate or fix it has been met in failure, as the gate seems to have built up a defense against intruders it does not want there. Your lore drop, and thank you for redeeming that, Trizagon. I appreciate it. But, Hyacinth and Ashalot, you are free to leave the Gloaming Eyes, as they have informed you about your strange crocodile child. But they've given it no name, no concept as to what it is exactly, that it just simply destroys things that it likes to eat.
Before leaving, they would just simply ask, is he going to get bigger?
The glowing eyes thinks and says, "No, I don't think it will." The smallest things are the most devastating, don't you think? As they give a wide smile, retreating back into the tapestries. You have your map updated. And as you kind of ponder that, we'll switch over to Viridia and Jack. So, you're going to the archives, yes?
Yes.
Right. Pushing into the archives, you will find that they are more in the government houses. That is where these particular archives are that you would need. The library is more in the city center, as it's more of a public access area. And getting into these archives, it's a bit tricky. You will have to ask permission, or if you tell them the right phrases or swindle them enough, they'll let you in.
Yeah, Jack's just gonna walk up and say, hi. I have a special research project. Who do I talk to about getting access to the archives?
Well, depending on, you see a small mousy woman kind of sitting there looking up at you. Well, depending on what you need, there's a number of archivists that are easily accessible to the public. If it's in-depth research you need, you'll have to record or request a specialist archivist in advance, as most of the records that you would need for specialist archiving is behind that gate. But if it's just general archiving research, you can go in and they kind of flip through. Oh, how about that? And they kind of take out a piece of paper and write down a few things. So it's going to be real easy, I promise you. All you have to do is find Jaspel Silas. He is, writes down a few more, in the back of the archives at the moment. Open laboratory, open research. He will provide anything and everything you need.
Okay, great. How do I get?
Oh, he presses a button and a door opens. There you go. Have fun.
Just gonna side-eye
Yep.
Bearda.
Yeah, it's like while this conversation is happening, like, you know, the attendant is kind of more engaged with like Jack conversation. Like, can I like take a little like closer look at that paper? Let's like kind of peer over. It's like, is there a name at all? It's like just allowing this to happen.
Yeah. You make me a intelligence/perception or whatever you would have that applies to this.
Let's see. Yeah, I think we're just gonna do a straight intelligence for this.
Mm-hmm.
$19.
19. You glance down and you see the name She Who Speaks has affirmed any and all research for the following names. And it has your name and Jack's name. And you also see Hyacinth and Ashalot's.
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah, I'll exchange the same side eye as we kind of go through this gate.
Right. You step through and there's this kind of sterile smell that you get from really clean labs, that you know you've stepped into a space that has been probably wiped down more often than it should. but same sterile labs and same space. Kind of smell of books permeates under this really sharp, clean, bleached smell. And as you follow the instructions that were given to you, you do find Jaspel. He's a taller man, soft brown skin, gray along the sides of his hair, dark black hair, warm, welcoming brown eyes, and he kind of leans forward as you approach, kind of biting his thumb, and he's like, "Right, Amelia said." He looks down his, no, not Amelia, she's not working today. He flips over a paper. "Heather said you'd be here."
And that we are.
Yes. So we're looking for some information.
What? What can I do for you?
Anything that has to do with stones that sing. Anything like that?
Singing stones. He'll stand up and go to a wall and press a hand against it, and you see kind of an elaborate light display light up around his hand, and you see a shelf kind of disconnect from the wall, pushing its way out with a soft hiss. And he kind of flips through the papers, and then he pushes it back, then does the same on another wall. He continues this for about 10 minutes before he pulls out some papers and lays them down. "Well, yes. Actually, here's some information. Stars that sing is one of them." He pushes the paper forward. Stones that sing is also another one. The connection at large is muddled. There's not much on that, but there are 5 from what I see here, as he kind of leafs through the paper. Each of them has a name.
What are the names?
Well, they go by the names Joy, Hope, Rage, Sorrow, Anxiety, and Satisfaction.
Can you give me those one more time? Joy, hope, rage, sorrow.
Anxiety and Satisfaction. I'll put that into the Discord for you.
And does it say where these stones can be found?
Not really, unfortunately. There's not much research. There's just simply ages and recording, mostly by scientists who have discovered this. What looks to be Emily Winston has discovered the first one, but after that, you have to go further back to other scientists, but they aren't named.
Could we listen to those recordings?
The recordings have been corrupted, unfortunately.
Oh.
We lost somebody.
All right.
Well, I don't know.
Can we look into can you give me just everything that Emma or what was it? What was the doctor's name?
Emily Winston.
Emily
Yeah,
Winston?
any public records or anything on work that she's done before?
He kind of pauses and looks through. Unfortunately, most of her research is for advanced archivists, and you will need further permission for that. I know you have the permission of she who speaks, but this is permission needed by the sisters in addition to her. Great respect to who she speaks, but the archives are dedicated to security and protection.
Right. So who do we need to see to get this permission?
Mostly the head of the watch would be a good place to go. You could also go directly to the tower to seek this permission from an administration point of view. Those would be the best options. I can write you a recommendation. She who speaks will also provide a recommendation, as her recommendation already comes highly sought after, so.
Did we know that we were recommended by She Who Speaks?
No, this is new information.
Right,
Yeah, once the attendant was out of earshot, I feel like Viridia would have communicated that. I just didn't want that to be like broadcasted across the entire archives or whoever might be in the shelves somewhere.
Yeah. Right. Okay, well, we will we'll get some more permissions for things and stuff. Thank you for your help.
Not a problem, and please do come back. It's always good to see and search out good information. I can say, if you want to know more about Dr. Winston, the libraries are actually pretty good and have some of her research that is not barred by the archives.
Cool. Yeah, that'll our friends are over there, so we'll go meet up with them and check that out. Thank you.
No problem. Best of luck to you, as he waves and goes to put everything back.
What did we do to get the recommendation of She Who Speaks?
I think just being here, it looks like multiple parties are trying to lay claim on what we're trying to do, which is terrifying for sure, but we keep playing the field like we have been. You get some good info.
I am so uncomfortable right now. There are so many people that are into our business.
Definitely.
All right, yeah. We will walk and talk. Let's see. Jen, it appears that Emma is having some internet issues. Do we want to just call it 30 minutes early today?
Happy with that.
Okay.
You can dive into the research afterwards.
Yeah.
And I can make notes fully as to what that research is.
Ooh. Love me some good research notes.
I have the bare recordings of what, like, bare bone structure, but I can flesh them out.
Excellent. All right, let's go around and we'll go ahead and do our intros. Thank you everyone so much for hanging out with us today. Jen, go ahead and kick us off. Or outros. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jen, and I champion the Little Princess Trust. They are a nonprofit organization that dedicates their time and efforts towards raising money towards children with childhood cancers and other diseases. They donate free hair wigs towards those children who have lost their hair due to cancer and other childhood diseases that results in the loss of hair. They're a good trust. I highly recommend them.
Awesome. Who's next?
And have I just got back in time for the end? Oh.
Yeah, we decided since you're having some internet trouble, it would be best to probably just call it.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know what's up. My internet just decided to... Yeah.
You know, I had 2 weeks where, like, I would be fine for my TTRPG streams, but my other streams, like, I would get, like, 30 minutes in and my internet would cut out for half an hour. So, it happens. Yeah, who's next?
I mean, I'm not sure if there's an order, but I can go ahead.
Yeah, go for it.
Hey, everybody. It's me, Sarah, or Sir Hecklot. You know, I'm championing the Advancement Project, which is a charity that boosts racial justice as well as equity. They have offices in California and in the DC area, but try to work for this cause all across the country, from legal defense funds to research, you name it, they probably help in some way. And that's about it. They do some very good work.
Awesome. Emma.
Hi everyone. Yeah, I have been and will continue to be Emma, whether my internet works or not. And I'm here supporting the Belfast Trans Resource Centre. It's the only major trans-led, trans-support charity in the UK. They do a lot of excellent work, and they've helped a lot of good people and a lot of good friends of mine. And yeah, they do good things.
Fabulous. Velvet.
Dark Beings, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us again. I've been Velvet, and like Sarah, I'm championing the Trevor Project for all the beautiful reasons she's listed, but it's also very near and dear to me as, you know, a queer person of the trans persuasion. They just do a lot of really great work, providing very needed resources for the community, especially, you know, in the times we live in, and doubly so after, you know, some recent events.
Absolutely. And that will just leave me. Hey everybody, I'm Sarah. I played Clever Jack tonight. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. The TrevorProject.org is the group that I give my Twitch income to. Every single time I receive a Twitch payout. If you'd like to know more about that, you can click the link that is available in chat, or the ones that are available on the YouTube if you're watching in the future, or if you are listening to our audiocast. You can check out the links there as well. They're a wonderful, wonderful group. I cannot recommend them enough. And all I really have to say this week is take care of yourselves and look after one another. Today is June 25th, 2022. You are loved. Have a good night, everyone.